prospecting. Baited and gear reviews. We'll show the world what we can do. Every ounce of sweat, every ounce of pride in our quest for gold. Be denied. Backyard prospecting. Backyard prospecting.
What's going on, prospectors? Dig Daddy out here in the shed, and it's time for some BSing in the shed. Glad to see y'all here. Who all's in the house? We got Joey Brown, A3 Sky Warrior, Smirnoff Peacock, Adam Weiss, Chris Dubb. What's going on, fellas? Good to see y'all here. I hope the weekend treated you all well. Everybody else who may be in the stream who isn't chatting, welcome. Those who are joining us, and those watching on the replay, how's it going? You missed out, but you don't have to miss out entirely because, well, as you're doing, you're watching on the replay. So thank you for that. But yeah, this week's topic: Highbankers. So as you saw this weekend, we'll just go right into it. I got a new toy. Got that Dream Mat Highbanker add-on for my my old 6-inch sluice here, and had a really good time running it. I feel like it had a couple of shortcomings, and hopefully this little dual jet water blaster will be the solution to my problem. I'm gonna put it on there tonight. I'm not going to test it out or anything, but I did leave things in a manageable state so that if I do need to change things out, I can do that still. But overall, I had a great time with this thing. It's a little bit on the heavy side, but as far as, you know, breathing some life into the old 6-inch sluice, which for me was just kind of had become a decoration, it worked out pretty well. It was pretty good add-on. I'm glad I got it. Glad I picked it up, and I really can't wait to get out to the river and really put some dirt through it. But yeah, other than that, the weekend was pretty good. I was really surprised how much gold that I found in here. I'm a little bit embarrassed that much flour made it past me to become tailings in the first place. But I am glad that I was able to catch it and recover it in the end. Now I got a bucket or a pan full of concentrates that, I don't know. I'm thinking maybe if I find another little container, maybe I'll throw up on the website. I'll throw a couple extra grams of gold in it and sell some concentrates to somebody. The last one went really quick. And so far as I know, the person who got it had a really good time going through it. So it'll be your opportunity to get some of Dig Daddy's cons. They only come every now and then. When I go through all the tailings, get this mat all loaded up, then I have some good cons. When I make it out to the river, I try to bring home some cons from that as well. But either way, it is more of a unique, but absolutely a challenging thing. If you're not into that, I do have some other pay dirts available on the website, so you should check those out. There's a whole bunch of stuff there. And yeah, that's pretty much it. How far are we? We're 4 minutes in, and I've given all the spiels. So have a happy Halloween and get some candy. That's what I should have brought out here. I should have brought out some candy, man. What are we looking at? The Prospector Shop? What do we got on the Prospector Shop? What's good? Everything's good. But what's also good... Yeah, there you go. Here, let's throw this page up here. Oh, got it. Here, let's take a look at the prospector shop and see what goodies that we got on there. Apparently, I've still got some ghouls and gold, so if you're looking at those, there's a few of these left. I got a few of the Dig Daddies down in a hole, which is just some straight up sweet pay dirt. Sands of Love, which is a more expert pay dirt. Difficulty level is high. Sometimes, so am I. The Micro Toolbox, which I'll show you guys that again tonight. We're going to use that for our cleanup. Got a couple Dream Mat combo mats, 6x16. Some spoons, and one last deluxe toolbox. Now I say last, but it's not going to be the last. I mean, I'll still keep making those. But I think the little toolbox is going to be the way to go for a lot of those people who just want the raw, the core, the main heart of it. Let's see. So here, let's switch over to the bench view, and you guys can check out the header. So it's got some pre-cut holes here on the side. Just pop these into those. Fit it back together. Slap a cap on the end. Boom, it's like Legos. I'll have to find a way to make it more sturdy, I think. Guess depending on where the water comes in, we'll make it determine that. But we'll give that a shot, and hopefully it'll work a little bit better. Just have to figure out how to get it to kind of stay better. I'm thinking maybe if I cut these pipes, it'll give a tighter pinch on the outsides. And then that'll make it aim easier. Totally eyeballing it, and I may wind up having to go grab some more pipe afterwards. Because I'm a big fan of measure whenever, cut a few times till you get it. Team eyeball, you know what I mean? Now this side just needs to lose about a ½ inch. That's a little bit better. Kind of holds. Could probably trim another couple millimeters off either end, and that'll probably give just enough pinch. Maybe just a millimeter. Actually, I think it's more just evening up this cut to begin with. There we go. Now that's got it nice and tightened up. Is the chat updating, or are you guys just really quiet? Oh wow, there's been tons of people talking. Man, I thought I was just like blowing it tonight. Like my chat stopped moving, and so I couldn't see anybody saying anything, and I was just like, man, did I completely lose you guys? I was fast. I was getting all anxious and shit. What's up to everybody else who's just joined us, or who I've now realized has just joined us? My chat decided to not update. I was thinking you guys were all just like hung up on my website and you're like, oh, I gotta check this stuff out. I love Dig Daddy's stuff, which was great. I'm down with that. Go buy. Go buy it up. What's going on, Rocky? Good to see you. Drive safe. David Dandurand, how's it going? Panama Prospector, Timothy Martell, Metally Corrupted. Who else has joined us? Brian Kerr, it's going down. All right. Cool. So, Stanley McFalls, it's going. What's happening? So yeah, enjoying this device, this whole Highbanker. Glad that I finally got to get some use out of it. It's been killing me that it's been just sitting here. I've been wanting to go out, and I took it out one time, but it never actually got set up because of the spot where I was at. There was just no gold, so I wasn't about to set it all up with no gold to find. You know, setting up hardware is like, do you just set it up first, or do you get proof of concept before you do it? It's probably a good idea to get proof that the effort is worth the time, because nothing sucks more than setting up a sluice and doing all that work. Like, especially if you're like setting it up in the river and you gotta like get it just right. You go and do that, spend 10 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour getting rocks and everything just right. And then you go start digging holes just to find that you're not finding any gold anyways. So always check first. Always check first. Before you set up the gear, make sure it's going to be worth your time. Because it's easy enough to just check a couple spots with your pan, look for a few flakes. When you find a few good, place where it's got a good number of flakes, then set up. Then take that time. Test, test, test. Absolutely right. You know, we don't want to waste our time. We're not going out there to just, I mean, it's fun, but let's be real. We're out there to find gold. And if you're not finding gold, what are you doing? You're searching for it. So, don't pretend you're a miner. Go find the gold and then be a miner. Be a prospector. Prospector, then be a miner. Because you got to do one for you. Anyways, you guys know. So, but either way, I hope the weekend treated you all well. Hopefully, you were all, some of you are able to get out and get some shiny. Find a big pile and a golden smile. Running out of time. It's October. It's the end of October. It's almost November, so weather's going to be getting really assy here soon. So I hope that I can at least get one more river trip in before I got to put everything away. Luckily, though, we always got the shed, so the heater is working great. So long as I don't pop a breaker trying to run all this stuff off of one outlet, we're going to be good. Luckily, I got a battery pack up there doing most of the lifting. So, should be all right. I got to get a new propane tank for the other heater, though, because even though this little heater is all right, it doesn't really keep the place warm. Or the big heater, that heats this place up, man. Sometimes it's too hot. So, rather that than freeze my ass off, though, so I can't complain. Yeah, I think next time I'm going to go zip ties with this. There. Good times. Do I have some pay dirt to run? You know, I do. You can run a 220. Man, I would love to run power out to my shed. The only problem is there's a big concrete slab in between my box and the shed. Well, concrete slab, my lawn, and then it kind of goes up on a hill. So I feel like it would wind up being really expensive to do. So what I originally had done, the plan was, I have a solar system set up in here, a solar setup. I got I think it's a 300 watt cell going up to a 1,000 watt inverter, solar charger panel distributor thing. That comes down here to a panel box, which then goes out to, I think I have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's actually 3 because one of them is just the leg off of the AC. Yeah, no, I mean, it is the whole shed, even though it's all wired up to a box, is essentially just a big giant extension cord. Running off a big long extension cord running out to the shed. But there's a battery in between, and that's where most of the draw is coming from. So for the most part, except for when I'm using the heater or the router, all the power is doing is making sure the battery's up to charge and making up for any power that's not able to keep up on. I think I would wind up having to run it in the air from the house to here, like on a pole. I think that's probably what I'd wind up having to do, just to not have to cut through the ground. And that's something I would consider doing, depending on, cost. That's what it all comes down to, is cost. Ain't that always the way? If costs weren't an issue, I would have had the entire hill here leveled and the structure reinforced so my neighbors don't fall down on me. And then I would be able to make full usage of my yard, and I would have a much, much bigger shed. Maybe even like an official 2-story shed with like a ladder or a staircase. You know what? I did this last week and it worked out pretty well, I think. If I move the chat over here, then it looks like I'm looking at you guys while I'm reading. Then occasionally I gotta look at myself in the video just to make sure I look good. But yeah, I do have some pay dirt to run tonight. I got a cup. Here, I think we're done with the Highbanker. I just needed something to officially talk about so I could make a thumbnail for the video. Because that's what the video counselor guys suggested to me. To make thumbnails for each of my live streams, not just do the one. And so I'm trying to take their advice. Because, they're the experts and all that shit. But at the same time, it's like, I don't really have a topic always going into these. And so it's like, to pre-make a thumbnail for something that you don't know what you're going to be talking about makes it difficult. Right? For some gold, it can be done. Well, shit, if you have some gold, I'll take it. I don't want to give away my gold. My gold's for pay dirt. Have to use that cash stuff. Of course, some rando ass is calling me right now. Anyway. But luckily, though, this thing isn't too heavy. So that's a good thing. But by the time you're done with all the other stuff, because here I got to run it recirculating. I can't just run it raw, which sucks. Because that slows down the whole processing of it all. If I could just shovel directly into it in the river without having to set it up or recirculating, it'd be a lot easier, because then I don't have to have like a bucket and another bucket and then a big tub to hold the buckets. They just make it more difficult. I don't know why the government makes everything more difficult. And I'm trying to get a permit to allow me to just be able to use it in the place where I go to the most. But then they kept asking questions and shit, and I don't like answering questions, I don't answer questions. And so, I don't know how far that whole process is going to get me. So we'll just have to see. All about gold in the pocket. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the damn truth? But for now, it's going to be about some pay dirt in the pocket, because I want to run some dirt. And I like my new toy, so we're going to play with that. So let's switch over to the bench cam. Boop. Get rid of this chair. Set ourselves up a little something. Couple little tablets of chlorine in there. I got a tip from Ed when we were chatting the other day, last week. If you were able to catch that show, awesome. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for tuning into that. If you weren't able to, one of the things that we were talking about is he was telling me, he's like, man, you guys really love that jet dry. And I was like, yeah, you got to cut that surface tension down. He's like, what I use is chlorine tablets. I was like, really? I had never considered chlorine tablets, But they're such a good idea for multiple reasons. Mainly, out here in the shed, water can grow stagnant if it's not flowing. And we don't want stagnant water, obviously. That's not something we're after. Here. We just want enough water that's not gurgling. Must have caught an air bubble. Oh yeah, you guys probably want a link, huh? I have one. Give me a second. Go to the studio. Shareable link. Here we go. All right. Go to that link there. I'm going to pin it to the top of the chat. Leave yourself a comment if you want to get your chance to win some of my sloppy seconds. The gold we find here tonight, mixed back in with some more unsearched pay dirt, is what makes sloppy seconds what it is. And again, if you want your chance to get some, that's how you make it happen. Now bear with me, I'm just killing a little bit of time till I can find a lighter. Yeah, buddy. Bring you guys in a lot a bit closer. All right, let's get to work. Already seeing some gold there. Got a little bit larger rocks than I like to run down the micro sluice. Have some faith, David, you never know. All it takes is that one comment on that one day and a little bit of hope. We'll let this run for a second. Hit it with the magnet real quick. All right. And that's all it takes. at that, pretty shiny. Go gentle. Right here's where you big-bellied guys have the advantage. Turn that pan into a shaker table. For the boys. All right. Last step. Double check the tailings. All right, we're good. They're ordered. Panama Prospector. They are ordered and on the way. I expect they'll probably be delivered tomorrow. But I do have a few sluices still. I'm not completely out. So if you were waiting on that, no need. The one thing I am considering doing, modifying the sluice, is doing a little hole punch right here and right here. This sluice is a factory second, so it was kind of already falling apart a little bit. But even still, on the other ones, on good ones, I don't want it to wear away. So I'm thinking I'm going to do a hole punch right here and here, and then that'll be a notch for this to hold in. And it'll hold it more flush with the bracket, the holder. Let's go dry that gold. Oh, you guys, I didn't put it high up enough. I'm sorry. My bad, guys. It's me again. Hello, welcome back. While that gold dries up, I figured, we could spend some face-to-face time. And here we are. Really have nothing to add to it, but here we are. The catch ratio is like all of it. It's very, very high as long as you don't overload it and overrun it. Obviously, it's a 6-inch micro sluice, so you don't want to, take a tablespoon of material and dump it all in at once, because before it gets, down the sluice, it's going to fall out before everything can get washed under. So that's why I use the technique that I do. I hold the material forward and make a bridge or a bracing with the spoon that forces that material to kind of wash off of the spoon rather than dumping it off. I'll dump it off on my big sluice because it has an area for that. It has a blank spot to kind of shuffle everything around. I also have that grill on top, so if stuff's all caked up, um, it will it'll get stuck there if it's clay, and that'll give it more time to break down. But in this, obviously, you have the 4.5 inches of sluice, so you got to be a little bit slower on how you feed it, more conscious of the material that you're feeding it. Clay heavy material is going to have to be run really slow, and ideally you're going to wash off as much of that sediment as possible, if only to save your pump from eating itself. Well, I think it's going to bend it no matter what I do. I mean, this isn't a very hard, strong bungee. I could probably give it more slack, and that would help it. And I just did. Here, let me hop over back to that view. See, so I pulled a little bit of slack from out of the back here, and pulled it up a little bit, and that right there fixed it. So it's not really a whole lot. Again, this is a B grade sluice. It was a reject that he threw in the box as packing material. This isn't one that I would ship out with a box, and this is why I've held on to it for as long as I have, and why it's a prototype. But so this one's a little bit weaker than a lot of the other sluices that we're gonna see, but even still, it's not a huge amount of pressure on there. You can see there's plenty of spring. It's just kind of a soft sluice. I just don't like it aesthetically, and I think notching it right there would latch it in more, hold it down better, as opposed to bending it. I don't know. Maybe I'll try it on this one before I do it to any that I'm gonna actually sell. Because again, I can use this as a prototype. That's why I kept this guy. My red, white, and blue one's a B stock as well. Then I got a couple others. I guess maybe I have like 4 total micro sluices. Now, I don't want to do a bracket because then you have too many parts moving around in there, too many pieces that can break. And I already had the materials here from the other sluice to make the little bungee. And, you know, it kind of goes with the whole 3D print that I got to make and was super proud of. Now you're telling me, make something else. Breaking my heart and shit. That's so mean. Oh, shit. Back to me. All right. But if you're interested in picking one of these little guys up, you just head over to the Prospector shop. That's where I sell them. $100 will get you one. A little bit of shipping. I'm hoping that I can ship them in these little priority boxes. Or at least use that measurement so I can get my own boxes for it. Yeah, I mean, really the bungee bracket isn't needed. It's not very... Let's go back. So the bungee bracket isn't really needed. I just like it aesthetically. But overall, I mean, the V is going to hold it in. But sometimes water likes to push its way underneath the mats. So the bungee is just enough pressure on the top to keep it from lifting up. Sometimes silicone likes to lift up in water. The old sluice header box was a little bit, maybe it was looser. Or maybe it was tighter. I thought I had one within arm's reach. Oh, I do. See, the old sluice box, it's a tighter fit because it has these little wings that kind of protrude out a little bit, and those act to really pinch it and hold it in place. So you don't even need it for this one. The design on this one is a little bit looser. See, so it has a little bit more give. So it's a little bit more required on this one, but you can probably get away without it. This is full blast. And yeah, it doesn't really push up on it at all. I just like to be safe, you know, to be sure it's not going to happen. Plus, it looks cool. But I could probably take the whole design in another millimeter, but I think I'm settled on this as it is. Yes. The header box on these is more compact because we're in a 13-inch sluice. The old compact is this guy. Hold on. Let me get one that doesn't have everything attached to it. So this is the original box. Kind of big, kind of clunky. I had to seal these ones because the water would seep through because the walls were kind of thin. Because they took so long to print, it was a trade-off. So I redid that style to this one with thicker walls. These ones don't need to be sealed. I did some of them just because I like got used to doing it, and so it's kind of a habit. But this is style 2. And then the third one, as you can see, is much, much smaller than both the original, the compact. It's about 2/3 of as tall. And the efficiencies that were built into the boxes are a little bit different. The original was just a large open box. The compact, I had a little split in the middle to divert the water around before it came down the sluice so it didn't just rush over. The new one has a cap that forces the water out this way and then upward again so it doesn't overflow. So one, it doesn't blast out of here because obviously it's a much, much smaller reservoir behind the sluice compared to what we used to do. I can fit I can fit the new sluice inside of the old sluice. That's the size difference from where we started and where we're at today. And so I think on the bigger sluices, I'll probably also move over to this design just so I can maintain one style. Yeah, I mean it works, and that's right. That's what counts. That's what's important. And so if it works, you know, it gets it done. Oh man, did we go the whole dipshit? Here, I gotta go get the gold, so I'm gonna leave you guys on the sluice player, and I'll put some music on while we're doing that. Let me go get the gold and get the other station set up. All right. Let's see what we got. Woo. All right. 0.114 of a gram of gold. 1/4th of a gram of gold. Not too bad. Not too shabby. I say 114. Well, you don't say. Who would have thunk it? Let's get our climbing the mountain. If you ain't first, you're last. Remember that. Sloppy seconds. Dig Daddy. $10.28. All right. Now, I hope, wow, we're already at the end of the month. I hope you guys got some good plans for Halloween. Gonna hide from the kids and eat the candy that they don't get from you. Just turn the lights off, they won't knock. Just because you have candy doesn't mean you have to open the door. Just remember that, okay? Turn the light off. Or if you just want to keep people from coming to your house, hand out little mini Bibles. Guarantee people will stop coming to your door. Oh, that's the Bible house. They said they're gonna pray for me. They don't got any candy. Is this candy? Can I eat this still? I guess a goddamn book. Uh-huh. Alright, a little gold in there. And remember, Bacchus sent us some cool coins from around the world. Looks like a Canadian one. And France. Whoop. You almost lost your loon. Got the gold in there. Ooh, that's a fat one. There we go. We've got ourselves a bag. Sloppy seconds. Only thing left is to make it official by sealing it closed. Oh no. Oh, the Wi-Fi's plugged into Alright, well I'll have to seal it closed after the show because my dumb ass went and moved the Wi-Fi extender to the plug that I usually plug this in. And as I was saying earlier, I'm a little bit plug limited out here. So, we'll have to figure that out later. I mean, it's not that I need to figure anything out. It's just actions and not being on screen when it happens. All right. We got 23 people here. I say, let's roll it. Let's find ourselves a winner for this bag of sloppy seconds. Getting my ass kicked by football here. So I appreciate you guys who've been hanging out with me tonight. And all of you who are watching on the replay as well, again, much love. I always find it amazing that people come back to a live stream afterwards to watch it. I think that's awesome. So thank you. Unfortunately, if you're not watching live, you can't win the sloppy seconds, but that's just good encouragement to catch us next time. All right, now, the way to get the sloppy seconds, as always, you got to click on that link on top of the chat. If you haven't already done that, go get that done. Because that's how you win. That's how you get entered to win. If you don't do that, you have zero chance. Nada. So go check that out and we'll do the thing. Otherwise, let me go find my screen. You guys dig the new tunes on this weekend's video? I really like that one. That Prospector's Dream. It was very energetic. All right, let's there we are. All right. See, you gotta evolve from toilet paper and get yourselves one of those ass fucking hoses. You sit down and it just whoosh, and then it blow dries you. Not that, never mind. Anywho, let's give away some dirt. We've got our random YouTube comment picker. We've got our GAW page. We've got some math. Let's get some comments. We got 23 unique comments. We got 24 people here, so somebody's sandbagging. But hey, man, that's on you, man. You do you. Let's find us a winner. Adam Wise T2Y. Adam Wise, I've seen you posting. I see you there. Just let me know you're still with us. because you're tonight's winner of the sloppy seconds. Cool. Let's try not to be too excited. Congratulations, Adam. You're tonight's winner. All I need is your address, and I'll get this little bag of dirt out to you. Hopefully you have the means and the gear to address it when it gets there. If you can send me your address, digdaddy@backyardprospecting.com. That is digdaddy with a D, not a B. I'm not going to set up a second email just so you people can misspell my name. Dig Daddy. But if you get me your address, I'll get you some dirt. Thank you for playing, and thank you all for hanging out and for participating in the raffle as well. I'm sure you all wanted to win. Unfortunately, each week there can only be one. So, tune in next week for your next chance at some sloppy seconds and for hanging out here with me, Dig Daddy, in the shed. Until then, I hope you all have a wonderful week. I hope the streams and creeks treat you well. Hopefully y'all can get out there and get a little bit of pay dirt before the winter sets in and freezes everything. Hopefully I will be able to do the same. And I need to get some pay dirt, man. I have no pay dirt to review. I got a box, but I don't really want to do that as a review. But we'll see. Hopefully I'll find something else before the weekend, and we'll check it out all together. So until then, this is Dig Daddy signing out from the shed. Don't forget to hit that like button, do the subscriber thing if you're not a subscriber and you're still hanging out and all that stuff. Otherwise, until next time, if I don't see you out at the river, I'll catch you in the backyard. Peace.